What's going on, guys? Josie Q here, and I'm gonna start answering some of the questions that I got in the question video. So let's just start from the bottom. I have a question that is about DLC 4. Do you think the Wonder Waffle is coming back? Well, I don't think it's going to be coming back. I'll give you a reason why I think it doesn't. I don't think it's going to come back, and a reason why I do think it's going to come back, which is kind of weird to say. But I don't think it's going to come back since the map's going to be taking place in the early, before 1920. So it's like anywhere from 1915 to like 1919. So anywhere from like that range of time. And the Wonder Waffle or Wonder Waff, whatever you want to call it, DG2, was a prototype during the 40s. So it's not like the gun traveled backwards in time. Since I think this map may be a prequel, but a way to think that it might come back. Let's say it wasn't a prequel and just something happened with time or something. Let's say it's not gonna be the full gun, but like if you go watch one of my older videos, it's gonna be attached to a different weapon that you can actually use to have different wonder weapons on. Like let's say they have like the thunder gun, the winter sowl, the wonder waffle. So those are two reasons why it's going to and why it's not going to come back. Whichever one you guys want to think is better, you just take that and believe that. Do you think that the 4 original characters will be playable or appear in some sort of form? Thanks. Yes, I do. We got the letters from them. There have been countless amount of times that Play the Game Central has said some stuff about the old characters, and it's just about time that we get them characters back. It's been way too long. I'm just reading these, so if they're like any that are any like ones that are stated, I'll just say, I'll just obviously skip it. If they had Resurrection 2.0, then they should make 2 modern maps for Maxis and Richthofen, and then 3 old-style maps explaining how they gather as a map. Blah, 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 blah. They wouldn't make 2 for each. If they would do Resurrection 2.0, they would bring Black Ops 1 maps back, and then they would have 1 new one. And I doubt they would do any more than 1 new one, because it takes a lot of time for them to port all the the older maps in, plus add like the new weapons and reskin stuff, and then just to make a whole new map as well along with that. It takes a lot of time, so I don't think that they would do 2 more maps for new ones. Do you have any theories on the old 4 on Moon, if they're still there, or how they left? How did they leave, and where do you think they would go? A specific location. I think that they are still there until the last map. I don't think they left, and they can leave anytime they want if they go to the teleporter, and that's near the 74U and near the biodome. They can leave anytime they want and go back to Area 51, which then they could leave and then obviously go other places from there. And they're probably gonna. I don't think we're gonna see anything that has to do with that though in this game. I think this game is obviously going to have to do with, the past and stuff like that, but it's kind of a weird way to think about it, because the way this is working is the giant, aka, the robot, was in Doris, supposedly, like back in like whenever 30s and 40s and stuff like that, but then it teleported away and teleported back in time. This is the way I've like read into stuff, and I've thought of it, and I've heard other people think of this way too. It teleported back in time to wherever the next map's gonna take place, but then the old characters, like, I think that they're gonna be like original, like from that time, and they're gonna go there and see that, and then I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Like the old characters that we know aren't gonna be the ones we know. They're gonna be different. They're gonna be like they were back when they were in the army and stuff like that. They're not gonna be the newer version of them. They're gonna be like the 1918 version of them, if that makes sense. So that one, it's kind of confusing to explain. Are the characters dead in the game? Which characters do you mean? If you're talking about the original characters, Dempsey's group, no, they're not dead. If you're talking about the new group, the transit group, then yes, they are dead. We saw in the Infinity round that they have been killed, and yeah, so they're dead. How does Mob of the Dead fit in? Mob of the Dead doesn't really fit in, if you want to say it like that, picture, you know, the island, and picture like a big bubble of time around it, and that's also including the bridge. Picture that have like a bubble of just its own stuff around it. That's all happening there, and that time loop is just happening in that bubble of area. And there we don't know some of the stuff that has to do with it, like how Arlington knows is that his name, Weasel, whatever, Weasel, how he knows Nikolai's name, and some stuff like that. But it's it has some a little bit to do with the story, but not like, you know, it's not all together have to do with the story, if that makes sense. Are the old 4 characters still on Moon? Yes, they are. How did Richthofen get into Samantha's body, and what's the story with Weasel from Mob of the Dead? Please answer. Alright, Weasel, I just explained that. Pretty much, they're all stuck in like a time loop, and there's just little bits of story there. We don't really know anything about that yet, so we'll probably get that. Maybe this next map, I doubt it. Maybe not at all. Maybe the next game, who knows. How did Richthofen get to Samantha's body? Richthofen used the focusing stone and the Vril generator, or whatever it's called, the golden rod, and he hacked into the moon system or mainframe, and he powered the Vril rod up. I'm gonna just call it the Vril rod or the golden rod, whatever, because it's actually Vril device, if you didn't know that. And he went to the MPD, which that's where Samantha was locked in, which is a gateway to the ether. He put the golden rod in and the focusing stone, and it opened it up, and yeah. Well, actually, that he sort of had to, by doing that, he had to fill it with souls or organ energy or whatever the hell you want to call it. So that's pretty much how he got in the body. And it's really windy outside right now. Richthofen to the goldenrod brought to her. Okay, never mind. That was just the guy answering the other question. Let's see. Hey, ZQ, it's Lone Flow, your Zombies team member. My question is, what do you think the Zombie Map Pack 4 is going to be? The original characters, what does the Warden have to do with Mob of the Dead storyline? In my opinion, there has to be something related with him. So, let's see. What do you think the Zombie Map Pack 4 is going to be? I think it's going to be taking place in France. I don't know about Verdun, France, because supposedly that was put into the game, or put into his commentary, actually, Play the Game's commentary, to throw us off. But it's going to be taking place in northern France, pretty much, and we're going to have a giant, and we're going to have, a little town, and a trench, and we know that kind of stuff. The Warden, by Warden, you mean the big guy that runs out. I guess he's the Warden. I don't really think he's a Warden, though, if that makes sense. There are some quotes that lead us to believe that the big guy, I'm going to just call him the big guy on Mob of the Dead. There's some quotes that the players say which lead us to believe that he was actually Ferguson, the guy in the cutscene that just got huge, kind of like what's his name in Call of the Dead, how there was the George. And I think that's another reason why they put it in, was because in Call of the Dead you had George, Mob of the Dead you got, Ferguson, quote unquote. So I mean, he could be the Warden, because there's quotes to make you believe that he's the Warden and Ferguson, because at one point they're like, oh, is that Ferguson or something like that? And Ferguson is obviously just a guard, but also when you're like in the Warden's room and you get the Blundergat, it starts talking, so you never know. So I don't really know per se on that, but could go either way. Question: in Black Ops 1 Moon, when you're in No Man's Land at the start, are you actually on Earth? Because when you go back to No Man's Land after launching the missiles, if you jump, you can see the Earth on fire. That is a texture glitch. Pretty much what happened was they were not supposed to have Moon. It was supposed to be Paris, the map, Paris and France and whatever. So they actually made the map kind of later and whatever, and that is like I said, a texture glitch. They're not gonna picture the map like a board, like a cardboard just box or something, flip it over so it's flat, like the bottom. Now picture Moon at the right, and then picture like the actual map for Moon, and then picture a bunch of stuff in the middle so you can't see over to the left, because at the left area, that is where the No Man's Land is, and it's supposed to be representing Earth. They're not actually gonna make that big of a map, or this stuff is going to be way too laggy. that's why let's just skip ahead to something else. Like in transit, the reason they put fog in was so it didn't lag, because there was so much stuff going on, and the reason they put in the lava was to make it so you weren't able to go from one area to another way too fast and make the whole game just crash, because that would happen on Moon, because you got to think it's an older game. They probably had a engine that couldn't have as much stuff in it as they do now, so they can't have that big of a a playing area, so they're not gonna make a whole nother like planet like Earth, obviously, and then have like Earth and Moon. They're not gonna have that much area and whatnot, because that would just crash the game. Did I miss another question in there? No. Why does Arlington from Mob of the Dead say Nikolai, Nikolai, Nikolai? Why do I keep hearing that name? Unfortunately, I don't really know why he says Nikolai, Nikolai, Nikolai. I can only assume that it was foreshadowing the last map pack with Nikolai in it, or maybe it's something to come later. Maybe in this map, the next map, maybe Nikolai will have a story or something talking about a friend that he used to have, maybe Arlington or something, and maybe Arlington just couldn't remember because he was stuck in the time loop for so long. Because you got to think, if it's a time loop, they could have been in the time loop for like 90 years. You could have started forgetting things. I don't really know, but it's just a theory. My friend Zach asked the question: is Marlton in the bunker in Nuketown? I get so many people saying stuff like, "Oh, he's in the bunker in Nuketown," and stuff. He's not in the bunker in Nuketown. He's not. Just think for a second. He's not in the bunker. Like, the way I could explain this is, if you listen to the TV, you don't think that Richthofen and the other crew is in the TV, do you? Because if you did, you're really stupid. I'm just saying though, you don't really think that they're in the TV, because they're on the moon still. That this is going on at the same time, so you wouldn't think that he's in the bunker. All it's doing is it's creating a time, like a way to show you that what time it is, like, compared to everything, like that it's pretty much showing you that transit is not like so far in the future. It's actually pretty close, It's actually in time wise, it's decently close. And if you actually knew the stuff he was saying in the bunker, it's not like he's saying anything different than usual. He's saying stuff that's in transit, the same quotes. All they did was they took a quote from transit and made it so when you knife the bunker, you could hear him. So they're showing you that it's around the same time. Also, the bus, you don't think the bus beeping is actually like in Nuketown. It's just kind of beeping to add in as an Easter egg. You know what I'm saying? He's not actually in the bunker, is what I'm trying to get across. Okay, I get that question. I don't get that question. I get people like pretty much screaming at me in comments saying, he's in the bunker. Your theory is stupid. It's not. He's not in the bunker. All right. Why does Maxis want to get to Agartha? He wants to get to Agartha so he can pretty much, when he gets there, he believes that the Samantha in her like soul and everything is there, and he thinks that if he gets there that he could get her and fix everything. And by fix everything, I mean like, he wants to pretty much cut like a dimension in half, like a realm, go inside and grab Samantha. And this is the part where it's kind of sketchy. If he thinks, I don't think he understands that Samantha's in Richthofen's body and her body is in the MPD. I mean, he knows that, but I think what he wants to do is he wants to rip open like a dimension / realm and go into another one. Let's say it's a completely different realm, and take her from that one and bring her back here. But by doing that, he's going to destroy everyone on Earth. That's why I said, regretfully, the Earth and its people will not survive or whatever. So that's kind of like the reasoning behind it, I guess. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly right. We don't know all the details, but my theory on that is he's trying to go to a different realm to get her from that one and bring her back, if that makes sense. First and foremost, I'm really into the zombie storyline as well. Now, my actual question falls back into Ascension and Dead Ops. What do you think the significance of the cosmic Silverback is? Do you think seeing him return in the future? Well, Dead Ops Arcade didn't really have anything to do with the storyline, obviously. So, and it was like obviously like an arcade game. I don't really think he had much to do with the storyline other than kind of referencing Moon. Because wasn't he wearing like a like a suit or spacesuit or something. I can't remember exactly. Well, if he was wearing a spacesuit, then it was referencing Moon, and Moon was obviously the last map pack. Also, there was a reference to Ascension on 5, which was the little book, and it had the rocket, and then also there was a Cosmic Silverback, and also on Ascension the phones ring and you could hear the characters talking through the phone. So I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I could say about that. Will they go to Paris / France? They're not going to Paris. It's pretty much been said by like a lot of people that they're not going to Paris. They're going to somewhere in northern France, and most likely Verdun, France, but maybe not. And if we were to see Paris, it's going to be in the next game that has zombies in it, and they're going to be taking place above Paris, actually, in a Zeppelin. If you don't know what a Zeppelin is, it's like a huge it's kind of like, if you ever heard of the Hindenburg, it's kind of like that. It's like a huge blimp, pretty much. It's going to be taking place there. That's going to be the next game. It's going to be called Dark Baby or something like that. If you don't know what that means, just go look up Play the Game Central and watch their video. Do you think Richthofen wrote the whole storyline? Because on Hijack there's a book with his name on it. No, I do not think he wrote the storyline. If anyone wrote the storyline, it's going to be, his name is Cornelius Purnell. And if anyone were to illustrate the storyline, it would be Arlington, aka known as the Weasel. That book that you are seeing is also in Black Ops 1, I believe, on Nuketown, and I think it's also in the Nuketown, on Nuketown 2025. I'm not sure if it's on any other maps like Buried, because there's other books on there. And so yeah, he did not write that. But anyways, more on Cornelius Purnell is probably on Play the Game Central's channel. I could make a video if you guys want me to make videos like that have to do with stuff that they said. I mean, I don't know, but if you want me to, I could do that. I just choose not to sometimes because I don't want to steal all their ideas. But if you wanted me to, I would. Transit has monkeys. Die Rise has jumpers. Map of the Dead has the Warden. Buried has the Ghost Ladies. DLC 4 has a giant robot. He didn't say that. I'm saying that. It's going to have a big robot, and it's kind of just going to be have to do with. I bet it's going to have to do with the Easter egg. I think, and maybe not, but I think it does. What else did it say? Let's see. So this person wrote a robot. Why is it that Russman said in Die Rise, remember your training, Stu? I did train you, right? And Russman also said it in Buried, even though I know why. I just wanted to leave a question. Well, he also said that in Transit. Pretty much, I guess he trained him. I mean, I don't really know where to go with that. He just trained him. Someone also said that there was a book in, I don't know where the question went, but I don't know. Somebody also wrote that in Alcatraz, there's the book about the Alcatraz swim team, and also it's in Buried. All I can really say about that is that Treyarch, what they like to do is they like to take textures and just add them in as, I know that a lot of their stuff they put in for a reason, but like something like this, they take like textures and they'll add them into another map as like a add-in, if that makes sense. Like the same books have been in, if you could see books in any map for Black Ops 2, they're all the same no matter what map that it is, and that's, I guess, just their reusing textures and whatnot. So that was all the questions on this video, I guess. And one thing I want to add is that a lot of comments come in where the people say, if you look on this page in the comic book video, at the top left there's a cutout and you could see the map before, and on the bottom right or the top right you could see a cutout with the map, the next one, blah blah blah. I mean, what are you trying to say to me there? I mean, it's to me it's common sense. Like, obviously you could see the last map and the next map. I don't really know what you're trying to say or whatever. I just literally, if you guys want to see these comments, go on my Black Ops 1 or video about Weasel writing the comic books. You could see so many comments like that. If you wrote a comment like that, I mean, can you write in the comment section of this video what you actually meant? Because I get like, I've gotten like 30 comments of people saying the same thing, and I honestly don't understand what they're saying. Like, it's literally stating the obvious. Like, I see the last map and I see the next map, which is a game ago, so it's not like there's anything that has to do with this game in there. So I don't know, but whatever. Let me know if you guys have any more questions and stuff, and I'll try to answer them in the best of my ability and whatnot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.